question you guys are always asking me is, what is my favourite place to visit in Sweden? And for anybody that spent any real time in Sweden, you will absolutely understand why this question is not an easy one to answer. It's a huge country, it's so diverse, the north and the south are poles apart. How do you possibly choose? As you might have heard, there's this weird virus hanging around at the minute, so maybe we can't get abroad as much as we probably would have done in the past. So I thought this was the perfect time to start sharing some of my ideas and recommendations for the things you can enjoy right here at home in Sweden instead, so that you guys can make the most of your summer regardless. But as somebody that's only been in Sweden for the last 2.5 years, I've only had so much time to enjoy this beautiful country. And what that means is there's lots of parts that are totally undiscovered to me just now. So what I decided to do is start a little series of videos where over a period of time I'm going to be sharing recommendations, top tips and ideas for different parts of the country, segment by segment. So over the coming months, as I discover new smultron ställen here in Sweden, I'm going to be sharing them right here with you on my YouTube channel. And for any of you guys out there that are following me over on my Instagram account, these places might look a little bit familiar. And that's because for this video, we're diving straight to the bottom of this country and we're going to be exploring my top 5 destinations across Blekinge and Skåne. Why these two regions, you ask? Well, I've just come back from my summer road trip where I discovered a whole host of new locations across these two regions of the country, and I thought I'd share some of them with you today. But of course, in a video, I can only provide you with a snapshot of some of these brilliant places, and so for that reason, if you want really detailed tips with all of my ideas of the restaurants to check out, activities to do in these different places, photos of the best parts, you're going to want to head over to my Instagram account, because throughout the month of July, I'm going to be sharing one destination from Skåne and Blekinge every single week, and a whole host of my recommendations and tips of how you can enjoy it the most. Funnily enough, the first of my weekly recommendations is already out, so once you're done with this video, head to the description and you will find a link to the post where you can go and start right down on the southeast coast of Sweden and get my tips and recommendations for how to enjoy a weekend spent there. That being said, let's hop into my top 5 travel destinations across Blekinge and Skåne. The first place I've just got to give a shout out to is Karlskrona. Karlskrona is one of the last major destinations on the southeast coast of Sweden, and if you haven't been before, it's absolutely worth a visit. And the reason for me that Karlskrona deserves its place on this list is because it's an absolutely stunning seaside town of lagom size. What do I mean by that? Well, it's not one of the hugest cities here in Sweden, but it's big enough and it's set right along the coastline. Yes, in Karlskrona, the Baltic Sea is only ever a stone's throw away, and that's kind of why I like it so much, because the whole city is set around a bay looking out over the Baltic Sea and all of the beautiful archipelago of islands that are set just off of the coastline. And particularly in the summertime, it's so easy to get out and about and enjoy these islands. You can hop on a boat pretty much from the city centre, and within minutes you are lost out in the archipelago in one of numerous islands, having the time of your life. Yep, I'd really say it's the perfect summer destination. There's marinas full of boats, there's beautiful rocky outlets that you can wander around, and it's a very, very popular surf destination in the summer. Stop number 2 on this mystical tour of the south coast is Österlen. Literally translating to the path or the route eastwards, this is a part of the country that is packed with its history. Yes, in years gone by, Österlen started as an ancient road network that went from Ystad in the south all the way up towards Kristianstad. And along the way, there's so many beautiful and exciting places to explore. One of the things that the region of Skåne is famous for is the fact that it's actually quite flat, but a visit to the Österlen would make you think that maybe that wasn't true. Reason being is that there's rolling hills, there's beautiful nature reserves to explore. You can go right up to the top or right down to the bottom by the sea. And almost every roadside is packed full with all sorts of different craft shops that you can visit, farm shops, eateries, bed and breakfasts. There is so much to explore. A particular town along the route that I would really recommend a visit is Simrishamn. It's a picturesque marina town, a lot smaller than Karlskrona, that is well worth a bit of your time. It's a place where you can still experience that seaside living vibe, but with a healthy dose of rest and relaxation. And when you're done exploring all of the beautiful cobbled streets and colourful architecture of Simrishamn, don't worry, because right next door, just to the east, is a beautiful sandy beach for you to get your tan on. And I can't talk about Österlen without talking about one of my possibly favourite nature reserves in the whole of Sweden. Yes, if you're in the area, Stenhuvud's Nationella Park really deserves some of your attention. Nestled along the coastline just between Kivik and Simrishamn, this nature reserve is like stepping into an episode of Robinson or Survivor. Getting its name from the rocky and craggy terrain, it's well worth a visit because you can literally hike and wander for kilometres upon kilometres. Regardless of your walking ability or time constraint, there's all sorts of different walking and hiking routes for you to enjoy, but I really recommend while you're there that you climb or hike right to the top of the hills that are right in the centre of the park, because at the top there you have a beautiful outlook across the whole of Skåne and out to the sea. And before we head further west, Kristianstad is another place that really deserves a mention here. One of the biggest cities along the south coast, Kristianstad is thriving and it's a huge university town, but don't let that put put you off, because seriously, you are so close to nature and the architecture is incredible. Yes, the buildings are so grand, and as you're perusing those streets, it honestly feels like you're in the Mediterranean somewhere. I felt like I was back in Seville. There's so much colour into the city, and that really extends out into the nature as well, because you're literally set along the side of a river and there's a beautiful nature reserve ready for you to explore. And seriously guys, we had some of the best food of our entire trip while we were in Kristianstad, so if you like your food, it's definitely a place for you. And from the south coast to the southwest, another place that really deserves your attention, and number 4 on my list today, is Lomma. Now I have to level with you guys, Lomma was not somewhere that was on our radar before this trip, but while we were travelling, a couple of you guys gave me the tip off, and now I want to share it with the rest of you. Set just a stone's throw above Malmo, Lomma is a beautiful small marina and harbour seaside town. But seriously you guys, from the hubbub of Malmo, you can literally hop on a bus or a train, and within 20 to 25 minutes, you are out on the picturesque seaside, rolling sand dunes in the seaside town of Lomma. It's literally the Venice of southwest Sweden, because everywhere you look are small canals dotted with little boats. It's just beautiful. And again, for the big foodies of you out there, it's well worth a visit if you really want to explore different types of cuisine, because dotted along the main canal are all sorts of little pop-up shops, all with their own different cultures and cuisines, and it's well worth trying. On a good day, you can even see Malmo down the coast, and across the bridge, even views of Denmark. And now you guys, for the final place that I'm going to be bringing to your attention today, and let me tell you what, I have saved the best till last. Yes, I'm pretty sure that this place will go down as one of my ultimate faves here in Sweden so far. It was definitely my favourite place that I visited on this trip, and it's called Kullaberg. Located on the southwest coast, just above the picturesque seaside town of Höganäs, Kullaberg is a headland that stretches out from the mainland of Sweden, and literally the views there are incredible. The whole nature reserve juts out from Sweden on this craggy hilltop, and oh my gosh, the views are beautiful. And you guys, from the moment you arrive, there is so much to explore, and there's small winding staircases built into the rock face all the way down to the sea in literally every single direction. You can go down and explore caves, you can walk out to the oldest lighthouse in Scandinavia. Literally, it's phenomenal. And for those of you that enjoy your sport, there is a beautiful little golf course that's also nestled into the hillside, which you can literally spend hours in. So next time you're making a trip down to Skåne, it is honestly not complete without a visit to Kullaberg. And if you like your food, once you're done exploring the craggy hillsides, make sure you hit the foothills, where you'll find some beautiful little restaurants literally on the seafront, where you can explore all sorts of seafood literally to your heart's delight, and looking on at the hills and all of the nature around you. And with that, we've reached the end of my whistle-stop tour of the south coast. But as I said at the beginning, you guys, make sure you head over to my Instagram, link down in the description, because all the way throughout July, I'm going to be sharing more detailed recommendations with places to see, things to do, the food you're going to want to try, the restaurants that are worth your visit. You do not want to miss this one. But that's it for today, you guys. If you enjoyed this one, drop me a like so I know you want me to do more travel recommendations here in Sweden soon, and make sure you subscribed if you haven't already. That would be awesome. But as I say, thank you so much for checking out another video, and I will see you guys in the next one. But until then, latest guys.